Hello again, South by Southwest 2019, Bonnell Media reporting direct and live from downtown Austin, and I have a very special guest with us here today.
Brian Solis. Where do I start? Okay, veteran of South by Southwest, fan of everything, of artistry, and especially 6th Street here. I'm also the author of the new book, Life Scale, and I'm also a digital anthropologist and a digital analyst.
And Brian is being far too modest. He's everything. It took me 10 minutes, 20 minutes to get him out of one room. So many people wanted to speak to him. But today we're going to focus on two things, creativity and entrepreneurialism, which are Brian's expert subject.
Yeah, I've helped launch over 1,000 startups in my career. I've had 3 startups myself, in addition to all of the research work that I do. And one of the things that I've noticed, especially in this era, is a lot of distractions that we're dealing with. Just having a smartphone, using all of the social media apps and all of the different messaging apps too to communicate with our teams and collaborate. And there's a cost that comes at that, using all of these technologies. We think we're getting a lot done because we're multitasking, but actually what we're doing is we're compromising the quality of our work. We're actually depleting ourselves of far more energy than we need to. We're actually damaging our brains in the process because we're not developing deeper density within our brain. We just happiness, emotions, anxiety, depression, all kinds of things that are sort of resulting from our use of everyday technology. And the only reason I know that is because I was trying to write my 8th book and I hit a wall. I blamed writer's block, I blamed everything but actually myself. And I got to the core of just peeling back the onion of all of the things that go behind why we use tech, why we're addicted to tech, why we keep sharing more and more and more of our lives online. And it's not an accident. These things were designed to do that, but what nobody really knew or expected was the true cost. So there's an opportunity cost, and there's an emotional and psychological and health cost.
And this is what you deal with in your book, right? You're showing us the way out of this labyrinth, right?
Yeah, well, first, the awareness is awakening, and that's where I wanted to start, because how do you sell a book to people who don't know that they're distracted, right? And
yeah.
So that's why I called it How to Live a More Creative, Productive, and Happy Life, because I think everybody could look at that and say, yeah, I want to be more creative and productive, but then I back you into this conversation. It's like, I didn't realize I was this distracted. But for entrepreneurs, there is, everybody talks about shipping or execution. And I know that a lot of people work hard, they hustle, whatever it is that they do, but you can actually do more at a far deeper level, at a far more creative level, if you actually allowed yourself to break from that and give yourself the time, space, and permission to be a more creative entrepreneur.
I think that's such a needed message at this time. I mean, even in this festival, Brian, I know you're a veteran of South by, it's my first, but you can go 24/7 at this festival and you can learn nothing and meet nobody, and you can go to everything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas what I'm finding is that actually just having conversations, like we just bumped into each other at a coffee thing this morning, we just started chatting. I didn't know who you were. You said about a book, I said, how's it going? And then suddenly I found out that you're a best-selling author, and that's the beauty of South by, but you have to allow for those moments, would you say?
I think the magic of South by Southwest is serendipity. Yeah. And like you said, if you allow for those moments, no matter where you are, if you open yourself up to it, that's the magic here. You meet the most amazing people, you go to the most amazing places. This is one of the reasons why I tend not to schedule anything unless I really need to go to these certain topics or conversations. Now, with that said, I can tell you as a founder several times over and working with founders, it can be a lonely, it could be a thankless, it could be a lot of things that aren't fantastic all of the time. But when you come to South by Southwest, one of the things you want to plug into is that magic, that creativity, that inspiration. And sometimes to do that, you have to put down your phone. You have to stop sharing every moment of what you're doing, because look, you were talking to somebody, I was talking to you when I walked by. It was no phones involved, because we were ready for that moment to happen. And if you're not ready for that moment to happen, then it's going to pass you. And it passes so many entrepreneurs who I hear complain about, well, South by sucks because I didn't get this, I didn't do that, I didn't see this. But you then got to ask, well, what were you doing? Because it's everywhere if you want to see it.
Brian, one final question, because I know you got to get back. What's it like speaking at South by?
Oh, it's nerve-wracking. And this is one of the events that it's such a special place. I've been coming here for 12 or 13 years. It's the one place where I feel like I come to learn, and so to have the opportunity to speak here is, I freak out every time.